So the recording has started. You can put your attendance. Okay, very good. So guys, one more time, I want to take the confirmation that voice is clear and we can continue. All right. No background noise, right? Okay, fine. ठीक है, very good. Okay, fine. So I'm presenting my screen now. So this is the practice set 2.1, which we have already seen in the last class, isn't it? So we have solved almost all the problems from this practice set. And from question number 3, I had given you some problems for your homework. I don't know how many of you have done it. Please keep doing it. Okay, that is beneficial for you. All right. So our next topic is like irrational and real numbers. Okay, so before that, we are going to revise some of the things. We are going to recall some of the things that we have learned in the last class or in the 8th class and 7th class. Okay, yeah. So representing square root of 2 and square root of 3 on number line, and these two are not rational numbers, means they are irrational numbers. All right. So how we can represent these two numbers? So I zoom in this number line, and as you can observe on this number line, we have 0 here, and on the right side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. In the left side we have negative numbers. Now in order to draw this square root of 2 on number line, if we want to show this number on number line, what we have to do, हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? See, first of all, we will take distance of 1 unit. Okay, so this is 1 unit, and again we will take a perpendicular of 1 unit as well, isn't it? So this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit. So according to Pythagoras theorem, this is base and this is height, so hypotenuse should be 1 square plus 1 square, that is equals to 2, and the value of hypotenuse should be root 2. So if we draw an arc like this, right, the arc, the point at which this arc cuts the number line is the point which shows number square root of 2 on number line. Okay, so this is how we this is how we represent square root of 2 on number line, that we have already learned in the last class. Okay. So one more thing that we are going to learn here is square root of 2 and square root of 3. These two are irrational numbers. So what exactly is irrational number, that is also we are going to cover now. I'm just gonna read this paragraph. On a number line, OA is equals to 1 unit, point B, which is left to the point O at a distance of 1 unit, coordinate of point B is -1, coordinate of point B is root 2, and its opposite number minus square root of 2 is shown by the point C. The coordinates of point C is minus of square root of 2. Similarly, opposite of root 3 is minus of root of 3, which is the coordinate of point D. So यहाँ पे हमें A, P, B, C, D, O ये सारे points दिए हैं, and like on the right side we have point P, which shows the number square root of 2 positive, and on the left side we have point C, which shows negative square root of 2, right? So there is nothing like much to discuss about it. So our next topic is irrational and rational numbers. So square root of 2 is a rational number. This can be proved using indirect proof. Now let's assume that square root of 2 is not rational. Okay, अभी sorry, अभी हमें क्या प्रूफ करना है कि square root of 2 is irrational, right? We want to prove that. But what we are going to do, we are going to assume that square root of 2 is rational. Okay. Now if square root of 2 is rational, that simply means square root of 2 can be represented in the form of p by q, isn't it? So p by q is reduced form of rational number, hence p and q have no common factor than other than 1. Okay, p by q is the reduced form of the rational number, given rational number. So that means they can't have any other common factor than the 1 and the number itself. All right. So p by q is the representation. Now we can say square root of 2 is equals to p by q. So 2 is equals to p square by q square, and 2q square is equals to p square. I hope it is clear for everyone. Now p square is even. Why p square is even? Let us like see, q square multiplied by 2 is here. So whatever will be the value of q square, that doesn't matter. Like let us suppose q square is even. Okay, even. So q square is equals to even, that is 4. So 4 into 2 it will be 8. Now q square is equals to odd. Let us suppose it is 5. It is not possible, like number of any q square can be 5, but we are assuming that it is odd. So odd number multiplied by 2, again it will be even only. So it doesn't matter that what is the value of q square. Whatever be the what Let whatever be the value of q square, if we are multiplying it with 2, so the value is going to be even only. समझ में आया? मतलब अगर q की वैल्यू कुछ भी हो, so it doesn't matter, isn't it? So इससे क्या होगा कि हमारा जो 2q square है वो हमेशा even ही रहेगा. So that is why p square is even, like 2q square is equals to p square है. So अगर 2q square even रहेगा तो obviously p square भी even ही रहेगा. And if p square is even, that means p is also even. Now how this is, like p is also even means 2 is a factor of p. Now अगर p even है, p square even है, so p even कैसे हुआ? तो देखना, like 1 is even, 1 is odd number. If we square this, 1 square is 1, which is again odd. 2 is even number, 2 square 4, that is even number. 3 is odd number, 3 square is 9, which is odd number. मतलब even number का जो square है that is even, and odd number का जो square है that is odd, isn't it? So we are applying vice versa, like अगर even number का square root क्या रहेगा? Even ही रहेगा. odd number का square root odd ही रहेगा. Similarly अगर p square even है तो obviously p भी even ही होगा, isn't it? Now अभी p even है, इसका मतलब ये होता है कि p has at least one factor, that is 2, right? Even if we take the smallest even number, which is the smallest even number? Which is smallest even number? Even I'm talking about even, not odd. 2 is the smallest even number, so 2 is a factor of itself, isn't it? So you can take any example, like let us suppose 26. 26 is also a even number. So can we write 26 as 13 into 2? Right, we can write it. So that means for all the even numbers we have 2 as a common factor. मतलब 2 जो है वो सारे even numbers का एक factor है. At least 1 2 is there in every even number. So यहां तक हमें समझ में आया. Now p is equals to 2 into 2, 2 into t. Now t can be anything, doesn't matter about t. Okay, so 2 into t, 2 एक factor है, हमें पता चला. So t can be anything, like it can be 0 1 2 3 4 5 7, anything. Okay, now p square is equals to 4t square. Again we are squaring here. Now t is the element of set of integers. Now since p square is equals to 2q square है, so p square is equals to 40 square भी है. Like see this statement and this statement, so we can write it like 2 square is equals to 40 square, and q square can be written as 2t square. So So q square is again even. See, here also q square is q square is even and q is even. Then 2 is factor of q as well. सबसे पहले हमने क्या प्रूव किया कि 2 जो है वो p का भी फैक्टर है, एंड नाउ वी आर प्रूविंग दैट 2 is also a factor of q. From 1 and 2, 2 is a common factor of p and q both. बराबर, 2 जो है वो q का भी और p का भी दोनों का फैक्टर है. This is contradictory because in p by q we have assumed that p and q have no common factor except one. तो हमने पहले स्टेटमेंट में यहाँ पे क्या बोला था कि it has no common factor other than 1, but this statement is saying 2 is common factor in p and q. This is contradictory. समझ, कॉन्ट्रेडिक्टरी का मतलब आपको समझ में आया ना, कि हम एक स्टेटमेंट में कुछ अलग कहते हैं और दूसरे स्टेटमेंट में उसके कुछ ऑपोजिट कहते हैं, राइट. सो पहले स्टेटमेंट में हमने क्या कहा, हमने कहा कि p और q ऐसे दो नंबर्स हैं जिनमें कोई भी कॉमन फैक्टर नहीं है 1 के अलावा. But in the second statement, we are saying that P and Q have 2 as a common factor. So ये contradictory हुआ. Okay. Don't worry, students. Like even if you are not understanding this, अगर आपको समझ में नहीं भी आ रहा है, so don't have to worry. आपको ये एग्जाम में नहीं लिखना है. Okay. This is just for your understanding purpose, right? So don't worry. Now, this is contradictory statement. That means our assumption that root 2 is rational is wrong. We have assumed wrong, right? So that is why root 2 is a rational number. Okay, so this is how we have proved that root 2 is irrational. Now similarly we can prove root of 3 and square root of 5 are also rational numbers. You can prove it. If you want to try, you can try it. The numbers which are represented by points on a number line are real numbers. In a nutshell, every point on a number line is associated with a real number, and every real number is associated with a unique point on the number line. So whether it is rational number, irrational number, integer, natural number, whole number, any number, these all numbers are real numbers. Okay. Now this is real numbers. So when you go to like standards 11 and 12, the 12th, 11th or 12th, you have to study about imaginary numbers. Okay, there are imaginary numbers. That means they don't have their existence, but still we use them in mathematics. Okay, so imaginary numbers के बारे में अभी 11th और 12th में आपको कुछ भी नहीं है. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it, but just remember that real number is one part and imaginary number is other part. तो ये भी आपको सीखना है. All right, so let's move further with real number. Now on number line, see, there is a horizontal line, isn't it? See, number line is what? It is basically a horizontal line on which at the middle we have 0, on the right side we have positive numbers, and on the left side we have negative numbers, right? So this is real number line, we can say. When we talk about imaginary numbers, so they will be represented on the vertical line, but don't worry about it. Okay, so every point on that horizontal line, that represents one of the real number, whether it be rational or irrational, it doesn't matter. These numbers are real numbers. All right, shall we move further? Any confusion between real numbers, imaginary numbers, or rational irrational numbers? Anything? If if you people want me to repeat something, I can repeat it. Nothing? Everyone, please respond. Okay, everyone should respond. Okay, all right, no doubt. Fine, fine, good. So to know that every rational number is real number, but square root of 2, square root of 3, minus square root of 2, pi, 3 plus root 2, etc. are not rational numbers, it means that every real number may not be a rational number, that we already know. Now decimal form of rational irrational numbers. So let us suppose find the if we have question like find the square root of 2 and 3 by using division method. So we have to find out the square root of 2 in its decimal form, right? In symbol we can write it like this, right? So this is the value of square root of 2, but how do we find out? Okay, so I will try to elaborate this here. I will try to elaborate this here. If you are unable to understand, then I will take a whiteboard and I will be explaining over there. Okay, so everyone please focus. This is a quite complicated method. Okay, now we have to find out square root of what? Square root of what? Tell me. We have to find out square root of 2. All right, so I write 2 here. I write 2 here, I give a decimal point, and after that I add so many zeros. Okay, it doesn't matter. After decimal there are lots of zeros and it doesn't matter, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I have to find such number to divide this to, so it should not exceed than 2. Okay, so if or it should not be equal to 2 as well, right? So which is that number which is less than 2, and we can divide 2 by that number? It is 1, isn't it? It is 1. So I take 1 as the number. Now I write 1 here, and the same digit we have to add here also. Okay, so 1 ones are 1, right? So 1 ones are 1, so 2 minus 1. देखो मैंने एक 1 यहाँ पे लिया, 1 ones are 1, मैंने 1 यहाँ पे लिया और 1 में सब्ट्रैक्ट कर रहा हूँ, एंड सिंस आई हैव टेकन 1 हियर सो आई एम टेकिंग 1 हियर आल्सो. सो मैंने यहाँ पे 4 1 लिए. ओके, सो कौन सा 1 किसके लिए लिया ये आपको समझ में आना चाहिए. नाउ 2 minus 1 is 1. यहाँ पे 2 minus 1 is 1 आया, बराबर. नाउ 1 plus 1 is 2. यहाँ तक सबको समझ में आया. अभी ये जो दो जीरो है मैं नीचे ले लूंगा, सो इट बिकम्स 100. Okay, yeah. Now here we have only 2. Now why we are taking 4 here? Why we are taking 4 here? Because see, if we take 5, we have to if we take 5, so 25 fives are how much? 125 it is, which is greater than 100, which is not acceptable. We need to have a number which should be less than 100. Now 24 fours are 96, बराबर ना. सो हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पे 4 लेंगे. सो आई हैव टेकन 4 हियर. सो जो नंबर मैं यहाँ पे ले रहा हूं, the number I am taking here, I have to add that number here also. Now 24 fours are 96, and 100 minus 96 is 4 here. So 24 plus 4, 28. Now take these two zeros down here, we have 400. Now we have to find such number such that it should not exceed 400. Now let us suppose we have 28. Okay, so 28 we have, I take 2. So if I take 2 here, I have to multiply with 2, isn't it? So 2 twos are 4, 2 eights are 16, 1 here, 2 twos are 4 and 1 564, which is greater than 400, which is not acceptable. Okay, so what I will take, I will take 1 here so that it becomes 281, right? So 281 ones are 281, and we have to add 1 here. So 281 plus 1 is 282, and 400 minus 281 is 119, and add these two zeros here. Okay, so we have bigger number now. Now we have to find such number such that its division should not exceed more than 11,900. Okay, so if you multiply this 2824 with 4, you will get this. And if you like, if you want to take 5 instead of this 4, so 2 5s are 2825 multiplied by 5, it will be greater than 11,900, so that it is not acceptable. Okay, so this is how we have to follow some steps. But no matter how many steps we follow, the example is not going to end. Okay, this is going to be like lengthy, because you know that irrational number, that means they don't have a terminating point, isn't it? They are recurring, isn't it? So this addition, sorry, this division goes on and on and on. Okay, so at a like if we get 4 5 digits after decimal, we can stop there. So we have the value of 1.41421. That is sufficient. After that, you can put this dots like this. Okay, sir, we can expand, or it will be stop. No, it won't stop. It won't stop anywhere. It will keep on going. ओके, वो मतलब स्टॉप होगा ही नहीं, ठीक है? सो क्या करना है हमें? आफ्टर डेसिमल पॉइंट वी जस्ट हैव टू कैलकुलेट अप टू 3 or 4 digits and then stop the calculation. Okay, and if your division is stopping, देखो मतलब अगर आपकी डिवीजन स्टॉप हो रही है, so that means that number is not irrational, that is rational number. अगर आपकी डिवीजन खत्म हो रही है, so it has to be a rational number. ठीक है, ऑल राइट, कोई डाउट? अभी इस डिवीजन में किसी को डाउट है तो बताना, बिकॉज आई एम श्योर कि किसी ना किसी को तो डाउट रहेगा. कादम्बरी हैज नो डाउट, विशाल हैज नो डाउट, विनीत ओके नो, ओके इजी, ओके दैट्स गुड, ठीक है, या फाइन. So even if you have any doubt, what we will do, we will take square root of 3 as well. Okay, so take the number which is smaller than 3. So 1 is the number, 1 ones are 1, 3 minus 1 is 2, and 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So these two zeros come down, so it becomes 200. Now we have already 2. So if we take 8 here, and so we have to multiply with 8. 8 eights are 64, 4 here, 6 here, 8 twos are 16, 16 plus 2 24, that is greater than 200, which is not acceptable. So we cannot take 28 or 8 here, we have to take 27. So 27 sevens are 189. सो मैंने 7 यहाँ पे लिख दिया, 7 ऐड कर दिया, 27 प्लस 7 इज 34. अभी 34 यहाँ पे है, 200 minus 189 is 11, and at these two zeros comes down, so it becomes 1100, and 343 threes are 1029. So this is how it goes on and on. Okay, yeah, fine. So I guess it is quite self-explanatory, and it is easy for you now. All right. So let's move further move in the further topics. So note that the above division numbers after decimal points are unending, means it is non-terminating. Even no group of number or single number is repeating in its quotient. So decimal expansion of such numbers is non-terminating, non-recurring. ओके, सो ऐसे में क्या होगा, या तो एक तो ये टर्मिनेट भी नहीं होंगे, एंड दे विल नॉट also recur as well. Recur मतलब क्या? Recur मतलब repeat होना. Okay, now root 2 and root 3 are irrational numbers, hence 1.4142 dash 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 and 1.723 dash 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 are also irrational numbers too. Moreover, a number whose decimal expansion is non-terminating, non-recurring is a irrational number. What is important? Non-terminating, and it should be non-recurring. Okay, even if it is recurring, that is said to be a rational number. Okay, if it is recurring, so we have learned ना कि अगर मतलब कोई नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग रिकरिंग नंबर रहेगा तो उसे हम p by q के फॉर्म में किस तरह से लिखते हैं, हमने लास्ट क्लास में देखा है, बराबर ना? मतलब we can actually express that number in p by q form. So we cannot say that it is irrational, it is rational, it comes under rational category. Okay, so this is the activity you have to do. we have to learn about number pi. So these activities you can do it. Now, ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter is constant number which represents the symbol pi. So the approximate value of pi is 22 by 7 or 3.14. Okay, these two are the values of number pi. So can anyone tell me that whether this number pi is rational or irrational? Rational or irrational? Number pi is rational or irrational? Respond, guys. It is irrational. Okay. Why it is irrational? जो पाई नंबर है, पाई नंबर रैशनल है या फिर इरेशनल है? सब लोग आंसर दो, यस और नो. यू जस्ट हैव टू पुट दिस. इज इट रैशनल? इज इट रैशनल? रैशनल है, पाई रैशनल है? यस, नो, irrational? No, not rational. Okay. Okay, irrotational, irrational. Okay. Because it is not in the form of m by n. Okay, it is irrational. Okay. So, like, see, if you're saying that it is irrational, it is not in the form of m by n or p by q, but still you can see we represent as pi as 22 by 7 or 3.14, which is terminating, which is like it ends at some point, is it, so it has to be rational. लगता नहीं है आपको? No. Okay, fine. So let's end this dilemma. Number pi is irrational. We use 22 by 7 or 3.14 as a replacement of pi for our mathematical calculation to become easy. Okay, for our convenience, we use the approximate value of pi. If you want to calculate the value of pi, it may take your complete life and still you will not be able to calculate the value of complete value of pi. Okay, it is that long. It is very, very, very long, and it is non-recurring as well. The most important and interesting fact about number pi, it does not repeat the sequence. It goes on, it is very random. So if you're interested, you can go for the videos on YouTube. There are lots of videos. Calculation of number pi, just put this in the search box, you will get lots of videos. Watch those videos. There's very interesting theories like before, you know um, uh, circle is also a polygon, isn't it? We have discussed this, I think, isn't it? सर्कल को भी हम एक पॉलीगॉन कह सकते हैं विथ इनफाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ साइड्स, बराबर ना? So yeah, so basically pi is the number which is nothing but the relation between the circumference of the circle and its diameter. बराबर, उसकी जो डायमीटर है और जो circumference है उसका एक रेशो है ना. Pi is that only, isn't it? We don't write like circumference of circle is equals to 2 pi r. Let me just write it here. Like let us suppose circumference is equals to 2 pi r. So circumference by r is equals to 2 pi, or circumference divided by r multiplied by 2 is equals to pi. So ये क्या है एक्चुअली? circumference का और लाइक रेडियस का कहिए या फिर डायमीटर का रेशियो ही तो है ना. रेशो ही तो है, इज इट? सो जब पुराने पुराने जमाने में साइंटिस्ट ने जब इसे कैलकुलेट करना चाहा ना, सो दे व्हाट दे यूज्ड टू डू, दे यूज्ड टू मेक पॉलीगॉन्स विथ first of all 100 sides, then 1000 sides, then like lakhs of sides. So they used to like manually measure the length of the circumference and the diameter, and then they used to find out the ratio of pi. But still nobody was ever be able to get close to the number of approximate number of pi. So it is very interesting, मतलब पाई के नंबर की जो खोज करने के लिए साइंटिस्ट लोगों ने बहुत मेहनत की है, but still till date we don't have the exact value of pi. ओके, सो आपको भी एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू नहीं पूछी जाएगी एग्जाम में, आपको भी 22/7 और 3.14 ही में लिखना है या फिर वही यूज करना है, बट जस्ट दीज थिंग्स यू शुड नो। ओके, कि मतलब हर एक चीज लाइक पाई हमारे सिलेबस में है, सो व्हाई इट इज देयर एंड वेयर डिड इट केम फ्रॉम, यू मस्ट नो ऑल दिस थिंग्स, डोंट यू थिंक सो? मतलब सिर्फ पढ़ना है इसके लिए नहीं पढ़ना है। So if you are interested, you can do some research on number pi on YouTube. You have lots of videos, very interesting videos. Okay, you can't even imagine how a scientist can spend his whole life on just calculating the value of one division, 22/7. Calculating. So it is very interesting. Okay, so let's move further. Now, the great Indian mathematician Aryabhatta in 499 CE has calculated the value of pi as 3.1416. See, मतलब इतने पहले इतने समय पहले हमारे एक ग्रेट इंडियन मैथमेटिशियन थे आर्यभट्ट नाम के, जिन्होंने पाई की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट की थी। एंड हाउ दे कैलकुलेटेड लाइक दिस, सी, this is the number of sides or the length of the sides of the polygon, and this is the diameter or we can say radius. Okay, so इस तरीके से उन्होंने कैलकुलेट किया था। Now we know that root 3 is an irrational number because its decimal expression is non-terminating, non-recurring. Now let us see whether 2 plus root 3 is irrational or not. So let us assume 2 plus root 3 is not an irrational number, that means it is a rational number. Then 2 plus root 3 can be represented as p by q. Hence we get root 3 is equals to p by q minus 2. Okay, so इस 2 को मैंने शिफ्ट कर दिया सिर्फ राइट साइड में. So we know that square root of 3 is irrational, p by q and 2 both are rational numbers, and rational number minus rational number, the subtraction has to be rational only. So that is why in this equation left side of the is an irrational number and right side is a rational number, right? So which is contradictory. So 2 plus root 3 is not a rational number but it is an irrational number. So एक बात समझ में लेनी है हमें कि like with any number, if we add irrational number, if we subtract irrational number, if we multiply by irrational number, it is going to be irrational only. Okay, now in this example you can see 2 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 3, so ये positive negative कट जाएगा, so rational आ जाएगा. That is not the case. Okay, now here also root 5 कट जाएगा तो 4 आ जाएगा. So यहाँ पे दोनों ही नंबर इरेशनल है, लेकिन इरेशनल नंबर की यहाँ पे जो डिवीजन है वो कैसी आ रही है, रैशनल आ रही है. बट इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट इट शुड बी ऑलवेज रैशनल. इट कैन बी irrational, इट कैन बी रैशनल. ओके, सो if a number which is rational is divided by or multiplied by, or a number is added or a number is subtracted in that number which is irrational number, so the रिजल्ट विल बी इरेशनल ओनली. मतलब अगर एक रैशनल है एक इरेशनल है, सो रिजल्ट कैसा रहेगा, इरेशनल ही रहेगा. बट इफ बोथ द नंबर्स आर इरेशनल, it might be possible that the result might be rational or irrational. It depends, we cannot say surely. Okay, but if one number is rational, other is irrational, then it is fixed that the result will be irrational only. Okay, so properties of order and relation on numbers. Shall we take something from this? Okay, so properties of irrational numbers. We will go through these properties first. Addition or subtraction of rational number with irrational number is an irrational number, as I already told you. Multiplication or division of non-zero rational number with irrational number is also an irrational. मतलब एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन मल्टीप्लिकेशन डिवीजन, अगर आप कोई भी ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करते हो उन दो नंबर्स पे, दो नंबर्स में से एक नंबर जो है वो रैशनल है, दूसरा इरेशनल है, तो जो रिजल्ट है वो भी इरेशनल ही आएगा. Now, the third point, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of two irrational number can be either rational or irrational. We cannot say it for sure. Okay, so ये तीन चीजें आपको याद रहेगी so that we can move further. Okay, so let me just erase this last year's scribble. Okay, so everyone is with me. Any doubt, any confusion? Addition, subtraction, multiplication of irrational or irrational numbers. No doubts, all good. Okay, fine. That's really nice to hear from you that you don't have any doubt. Okay, properties of order relation on real numbers. If A and B are two real numbers, then only one of the relation holds good. Like A can be equal to B, A can be less than B, or A can be greater than B, which is quite obvious. मतलब कोई भी अगर दो नंबर हमें दिए गए हैं तो तीनों में से एक ही हो सकता है ना. एक तो वो दो नंबर जो है वो इक्वल रहेंगे, या फिर पहला नंबर दूसरे से छोटा रहेगा, या फिर दूसरा नंबर पहले से छोटा रहेगा. व्हाट इज द लॉजिक इन इट? बराबर ना, मतलब इट इज क्वाइट ऑब्वियस. नाउ if A is smaller than B and B is smaller than C, then obviously A is smaller than C. If A is smaller than B, then A plus C is smaller than B plus C. That is quite also obvious. मतलब A अगर B से छोटा है, so अगर A में और B में अगर एक हम सेम नंबर ऐड करें C, so obviously that also that addition is going to be A plus B is sorry, A plus C is smaller than B plus C. Now, if A is smaller than B and C is greater than 0, then AC is smaller than BC. मतलब अगर C का अगर हम मल्टीप्लीकेशन भी करते हैं A और B के साथ में, तो भी जो ये प्रॉपर्टी है वो चेंज नहीं होगी. दैट विल बी सेम. एंड इफ C इज स्मॉलर देन 0, if C is smaller than 0, let us suppose it is negative, then it can be said that AC is greater than BC. All right. So only confusion is in this line. So just remember this line, you're all good. Okay. Now verify the above properties using rational and irrational numbers. ओके, सो हमें रैशनल नंबर और इरेशनल नंबर की मदद से ये प्रॉपर्टीज प्रूफ करनी है, जो कि हम कर सकते हैं. ये प्रॉपर्टीज बहुत ही इजी है. सो वी आर नॉट इन्वेस्टिंग आवर टाइम ऑन दीज प्रॉपर्टीज. ऑलराइट, नाउ स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ अ नेगेटिव नंबर. सो गाइस, कैन यू स्टूडेंट्स, कैन यू एवर हर्ड लाइक स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ नेगेटिव नंबर? किसी ने सुना है, देखा है नेगेटिव नंबर का स्क्वायर रूट होता है? स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ -36 कभी सुना है आपने? हाँ, ये जरूर पॉसिबल है कि लाइक अगर मैं स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 36 बोल रहा हूं, सो इट इज प्लस और -6, राइट. लेकिन अगर मैं यहां पे आपको बोलता हूं, सो स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ -36 इज इक्वल्स टू व्हाट? कैन यू आंसर दिस? नो, यू कांट आंसर दिस. व्हाई यू कांट आंसर दिस? लेट मी टेल यू. We know that square root of a is equals to b, then b square is equals to a. Hence, square root of 5 is equals to x, then x square is 5. Similarly, we know that square of any real number is always non-negative. It means that square root of any real number is never negative, but square root of negative 5 square is equals to minus 5, which is equals to square root of minus 5 is not a real number. Hence, square root of negative real number is not a real number. मतलब इस स्टेटमेंट में उन्हें सिर्फ यही कहना है कि अगर आप स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ माइनस 5 कैलकुलेट करना चाहते हैं, सो इट हैज सम वैल्यू बट इट इज नॉट रियल. It is not real, as I given you idea of imaginary numbers, isn't it? So it falls under that category. Okay, so imaginary numbers, or it these numbers are called complex numbers. So you people are going to learn this in the 11th and 12th standard. Okay, so square root of minus 5 minus 36 exists. It exists, but it is not in your syllabus. That's why we are not going to learn it. And the value will not be a real value, it will be a imaginary value. Got it? Got it? Got it, students? Okay, so tell me, square root of minus 36 exist or not? Exist or not? Minus 36, it exists. It exists. It exists. But it is not a real value. It exists, but it is not a real value. समझ रहे हो? ठीक है, चलो. So don't waste, we are not going to waste much time on it. Show that 4 4 square root of 2 is an irrational number. So क्या करना है हमें? 4 is equals to, like, just let me write, 4 root 2 is equals to p by q लिखना है, right? So square root of 2 is equals to क्या हो जाएगा? p by 4q हो जाएगा, right? So left side we have irrational number and right side we have rational number, which is contradictory, isn't it? So hence it is proved that 4 root of 2 is irrational. Similarly, you can prove this also. I think you don't, you might not have any problem to prove this, that 3 plus root 5 is irrational number. Represent the number root of 5 and root of 10 on number line. Can you people represent it? Are you confident of representing it? किसको ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे ये नहीं जमेगा स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 5 को रिप्रेजेंट करना? Who thinks like so? किसी को ऐसा लगता है? यस और नो बताओ जरा. Can you represent square root of 5 on number line? Can you represent square root of 10 on number line? Who can represent? Okay, Kadambari, Ayush, Vinit, Vaishnavi. Okay, everyone can represent. Okay, fine. So that means I need not to explain it to you, isn't it? So that's why I was asking. If you don't know, I will explain it for you. ठीक है, अगर आपको आता है, so that is fine. Bhakti, what about you? Can you represent? If not, then I will explain कैसे represent करना है. Who has not given the answer? Bhakti has not given the answer, and I guess who else? No one. Vedant. Vedant is not also giving answer. Voice is breaking. Oh, it might be the network issue at your side, maybe. Okay, fine, no problem. Let's go further. Write any three rational numbers between these two numbers given below. So हमें क्या करना है? Three rational numbers लिखना है. So चलो write three rational numbers between 0.3 and 0. Minus 0.5. Write it. Can you write three rational numbers between these two numbers? 0. 0.2, 0.1, and negative 0.1, which is absolutely correct. ओके चलो ये तो इजी था अभी यहाँ पे लिखो थर्ड वन थर्ड वन सॉल्व करो चलो three rational numbers between these two numbers. Okay, 5.251, 5.22, 5.23. That is correct. Okay, fine. ठीक है. So that's it, guys. That's it for today. A root of positive rational number we will see in the next class. Okay, so now I have noise all around me. There's a function going on outside. There are dogs barking from behind. You might be able to hear as well. So I guess we should stop the class here. Okay. So next point we will take in the next class. Is that okay? Shall we say bye bye and good night? Shall we? Yeah. Okay. Chalo then. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Chalo. Leave the class, everyone. Vedant, Vinit, Vishal. Yeah. Vishal, bye. Leave the class.